everybody to a Universe Academy deck spotlight. This week we're going to be doing Midnight. I'm going to be playing her in my locals as of recording of tomorrow on Wednesday. I played her in the main deck MHA League Week 1 for my 3 matches that were allowed max 3 matches. I went 2-1. Barely lost to a Todoroki 2, but I took down against a Kirishima 2 and an Ingenium of all things. Midnight was a character when she was first previewed, I think back in November, late December maybe. Her 2 abilities really piqued my interest. Being able to commit her and discard any number of cards. Fun fact, I thought that was you had to discard your entire hand to draw. It's any number of cards, so you get basically a once per turn partial Paris mulligan in a way, because you can keep the best cards in your hand, pitch the bad ones, and redraw. Her second ability is one that I'm a big fan of because I enjoy either pushing through attacks with speed or making attacks easier to block, as I like to block attacks a lot. Commit a Foundation. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed for each of his keywords, playable while committed. So thank you, Jesco, that you made it playable while committed and not pick one for the turn. So as we all know, a lot of the attacks in MHA have a bunch of keywords. So normally you're getting -2, you're committing 1 for -2 or more. I think the -1, commit 1 for -1 is a really bad trade and you should just block normally. But let's get into the deck. She's 628. That 6 is very deceptive. She is 6 starting and then can be up to 11 with certain cards, 12 hander in a turn, depending on how many cards you want to see in a turn. She has Void, Chaos, and All. This deck is built off the Chaos symbol to take advantage of all the keywords and all of the great effects on the cards. Like, we're going to capitalize on stun, we're going to capitalize on check plussing, so we're going to give our next checks to get +2. There's going to be a lot of neat interactions with her and the attacks being able to pump speed by 3 and sometimes 4 and stunning your opponent, which kind of pseudo speed because you're taking away 1 resource from them. So let's go ahead and get into the attacks. We'll go from the bottom up because we saved the best attack for last. We got 2 copies of Training Knife Strike. It's a 5/3, 3 mid for 5, +2 mid block. Has 3 keywords, charge, EX, EX2, weapon. Those don't really matter. Unless you want to get some speed with an EX, normally you're just going to commit for 3 speed. Void Enhanced, because Midnight has the Void symbol, so we can use this Enhanced. If it's not blocked, your rival discards a card. So in a lot of cases, people are going to hold a lot of lows against Chaos decks, just because they don't want to get blown up by Indiscriminate Shock, or Ice Storm, or Giant Ice Wall. Or they're holding highs for your Home Run Comets and Meteor Showers if you're playing them. So this basically makes your opponent have to either discard a card or block it, so which basically just nets them -1 hand size anyways. So that's pretty good. The Deadlock Enhance, if it gets off, it's great. You get to add 2 cards into your momentum from your card pool, 2 attacks. Moving up, this is our juice of the deck here. Double Jab Pummel to 3 mid 5, +1 high block, charge, punch, combo charge. This combo enhance, if this attack is blocked, you draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, period. So that happens if it's blocked. Your next check to play a card gets +2, happens no matter what, so basically if your opponent eats 5 damage, which is awesome, and then you get +2, so basically your next card ignores progressive difficulty in a way. Deadlock Enhance, if your opponent or rival goes into deadlock against you, you just say, hey, I get +7 to my next card. Yay. This is really the real, this is the glue, this is the peanut butter that holds the sandwich together. Because you play your first attack like a Training Knife Strike, you play this, you play another copy, and then you play any other attack after it, and your opponent's really got hard decision to make, because not only are these attacks coming in at +3 or more speed due to midnight, you get benefits off of them not blocking or blocking, which is fantastic. That's at 4 copies. Next is a 2x of Home Run Comet. This is kind of our pseudo finisher, a backup finisher, if you will. At the end of a string, this could be powerful 3, 4, 5, 6. It depends on how many double jab pummels you built, how well you checked. You get to it's a 4 difficulty plus 3 check plus 1 mid block. Everyone knows what this card does. It's 3 high for 4, charge, powerful weapon, so it gets +3 speed with Midnight, which is awesome because a lot of these attacks are base 6 speed with Midnight for the cost of a foundation. Enhance, add 1 foundation from your momentum, so you can commit a foundation to gain 3 speed, then chuck that foundation into your momentum, and you can just go to town with the next enhance. This attack gets +1 to its powerful rating for each charge or high attack in your card pool. You'll notice that I believe this is the only high attack in the entire deck. A lot of them are mids, but everything is a charge, so you will get +1 to your powerful rating for every attack in your card pool. This is a tremendous beating. I've gotten this to about 6 or 7 speed with powerful 5 a couple times, so it's been like 15, 20 damage at the end of a string. It's only had 2 copies. Just because it's something that's great to see late game. We don't want to see it too early. And then pretty much everyone knows this card. It's a staple of these 3 symbols. Electric Jolt for 3, +2 high block. There's that 3 mid again. 4 damage, charge, EX2, stun, so we're liking the stun. Enhance, momentum, flip. Commit 1 rival foundation, so you can stun your opponent with an attack, flip this, and then you commit another card. Also, it's guaranteed damage with that next enhance. If this attack is completely blocked, it still deals 1 damage. So if you commit with Midnight for a 6 mid for 4, and they're attempting to completely block this to save them 3 damage, you're winning, because you'll get to stun them, and they're probably committing at least 2 or 3 foundations, because on average it's an 8 to block. So they're going to be committing 2 to 3 or 4 foundations just to save themselves 3 damage, which is not a very good idea. Next, we have probably the best opener for Midnight, period. Pillar Swing, 6/3, too low block, 3 mid. We love the 3 mids for some reason. I don't know what it is. We love 3 as a base speed. 8 damage, charge, slam, stun 2, weapon. So basically, you're looking at base 7 speed in Midnight with stun 2 with 8 damage. Looking pretty nice right there for an opener. This attack is completely blocked. You get to add it to your momentum, which is fantastic, because if they're going to be blocking a 7 mid, you get to get it to your momentum if they completely block it. If they don't want to take 8 damage. So if they take half damage, even better. Enhance, the damage of this attack cannot be reduced below printed. So with some DR coming out of the new set, Crimson Rampage, and stuff from set 1, it's really good to have, at least you're going to stick at that base 8 speed, that they can't drop it below that. So even if they partial it, you're at least going to do 4, which is great. Next up is Ice Storm. This is pretty much a defensive piece, but it also can be a nice kill card. 4/3 +2 mid block, 4 low for 4. Hey, it has 4 speed, so we're not banking on the 3 speed for a change. Breaker 2, powerful 3 range, so base 7 speed in Midnight, which is pretty great. Enhance, this attack cannot be blocked by attack cards, so they got to block on with really crappy foundations, or if they're the good life or order symbol, or water, or air, they got some nice spicy 1 lows, so that's on foundations even. Deadlock Enhance, this attack gets 2 speed, the speed of this attack cannot be reduced. So yeah, so it's base 9 speed in Midnight, can't be reduced. Powerful 3 a few times, you're looking at a good nice 10, 12 damage. Not gonna complain. Decent card. And my favorite attack in set 1. Indiscriminate Shock, 1.3 million volts. 5/3 +2 low, 3 low for 5, charge, range, stun, 1. This attack has a couple enhances after the stun and after committing with base 6 speed with Midnight, which was a beating. This attack gets +1 damage for each of your committed rival foundations. So you're already looking at a base with the bottom ability, commit one foundation, your rival commits one foundation. You're looking at a base 6 low for 7 plus, depending on how many cards you've committed during their turn, with like another jolt or some of our foundations. You can get this pretty big, especially if you're at the big speed numbers. Will make your opponent have to commit resources. So say this after a double jab pummel or two, you're looking at this on a 5 after a double jab pummel as your third attack, which is fantastic because they're gonna have to commit resources to block your first 2 attacks or eat them, either way. And then you just go to town. You're probably looking at a good nice 6 low for 10 plus as your third attack, which is fantastic. Next, we're going to the actions. We play 3 copies of Plus Ultra. Why? Because she's a set 1 character and can play this card to its full use. It's a 2/5 check plus 5 mid block. Everyone knows what this card does. When you block with it, you set your speed of your rival's attack to 0. First enhance, discard a momentum, double your attack speed or damage. So with Midnight, we're most likely always doubling damage because everything's going to be base 6 speed. So yeah, your home run comets, your pillar swings, your indiscriminate shocks, they're coming in for 1,000,000 damage, which is awesome. We play a nice spicy one of Concentrate from the provisional pack promos, 2/5 plus 1 low. Response, remove, destroy 1 foundation after an ability on an action is played, cancel it. Midnight loses hard to erase. So this cancels an erase on a particular attack you want to push through, or even if maybe they erase you offensively, this can save your bacon. Also, if your opponent's playing Plus Ultra into you, or ready, set, go, or go for the win, you can just snap cancel it, which is really good, which can also backbreak some games for your rival. The bottom enhance is kind of nice. It gets us free momentum. If we're taking damage this turn, add this card to your momentum for a 2 check, for checking 2 difficulty. So yeah, not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and sort this by difficulty real quick, and we're going to go from the top down for foundations. We're starting with In the Typhoon. Enhance, remove, discard 2 cards. This attack is considered completely blocked during the block step. So in the off chance that you cannot commit cards to reduce your opponent's speed, or say you can't fully block it, or a partial block will kill you, that's not on a tape swing, or then maybe one other card that you can't do that with now too, this allows you to completely block it for 2 cards and a remove, which is not bad. But we're going to try not to get into that situation because Midnight can block pretty much everything with just her face by committing a foundation, not just by not blocking. So yeah, don't take that the way next is a 2x of Confused. In the Typhoon's a 1x. Confused, 2/5 plus 3 high. Flip. Remove 1 attack from your rival's discard pile and choose one of its keywords. This attack loses that keyword and cannot gain keywords. This is some throw hate, stun hate, combo hate if they don't combo right away, which I don't know why your rival wouldn't combo right away if you have this on the board. It's nice to have some keyword hate finally. Also, it's kind of pseudo mill-ish because you remove an attack. So if they try to cycle, or if it's what's the card called? Specialized sound waves. So you can get rid of attacks out of there so they can't specialize sound waves, stack attacks and stuff like that. But yeah, for more often than not, this is going to be some nice throw hate and stun hate. Play that 2 copies, and we play 2 in the sideboard. 2 copies of League Interview. It's a 2/6 plus 3 mid. First form, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Your next check to play an attack, it's +1. Response flip. After you check to make a block. After you make a check to block, that check gets +1. Really cool thing with this is with Pillar Swing, we don't want to have to start with committing a foundation right out the bat just for playing a 6 diff. So this allows us to skirt that, and it allows us to use Train with Gunheads Enhance, where we modify the check of an attack and we get 1 speed, which is kind of nice. Also, the response flip, after you make a check to block, that check gets +1, which is kind of nice in case we need it in the long run. And like for pushing, if it's like late in the turn and we're tapped for resources, this can give us that one extra +1 instead of committing a card. 3 copies of First Day of Class. This card is just dirty with Midnight because you can use its response after you use Midnight. Response flip. After this card's committed during the enhanced step, ready it. Playable while committed. So you commit this with Midnight, ready it. So it's really basically getting free plus or minus speed on with Midnight's ability. Enhanced commit. If this is the first attack this turn, your next check to play an attack this turn gets +2. So let's say we did League Interview. We check that 6, a 5 +1 for our Pillar Swing. We play this. The next check to play an attack gets +2. So if we have another Pillar Swing, or if we have a 5 diff, or we're playing Double Jab Pummel, this allows us to get +2 to our check. Plus, it allows us to use Train with Gunhead's speed enhance if a check has been buffed. It pushes that enhance further, which is great because getting +1 speed on top of what Midnight gets is very nice. 1 copy of Self-Assured. Being able to perfect block 1 attack a turn is very good. Also, on the off chance that we do get 4 ranged cards, because I think we only play 6. Maybe 2, 5. Where's it ranged? 1. That's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we can draw 1 card off of this if it happens to be randomly we get 4 ranged attacks on our discard pile. More often than not, we're just going to use this to commit, change the zone in an attack, either to make an attack hit or to perfect block an attack in a late game. Next up is 3 copies. Sorry, I forgot to read the stats. That's a 2, 4 +3 high and unique. So that means you can only have 1. That's why we're only playing 1. Next up is Irrefutable Force of Nature. 2, 5 +3 low. Enhance commit. Seal 1 rival. Earth, Fire, or Water Acid or Foundation. Enhance, remove, seal 1 acid or foundation. This card comes really in handy in pinch situations where if your opponent has something on board that will either reduce damage or you want, say they have Eat a Stupid Screaming Face, you can seal that. I can't think of the name. Fulfilled your duty. Other copies of other people's Irrefutable Forces of Nature is usually the 1 card that you just trade back and forth. You just lock each other down. There's like some Tokiyami things, I guess. Cool Student, you can get rid of that. And a big one would be Rescue Completed, would be a really big one against this deck because it allows your opponent to just commit any card for -2. Sealing that means they're going to be having a hard time blocking. Speaking of Cool Student, we get 2 copies of this at a 2, 5 +2 high ally, which is sure. Enhanced discardable momentum. Your next check to play a card gets +2, so more turn longevity. Gives us more targets. It will give us another target for Train for Gunhead. Also, enhance, add this card to the top of your deck. So say we need to check that 5 to kill our opponent. Put it on top. 1x shock treatment. 2, 5 +2 mid block unique. Enhance your attack. Discard a momentum. Commit 1 rival foundation. Enhance, destroy, commit 1 rival foundation. So offensively, you can just start dumping momentum to commit things to make other attacks hit. You can also defensively use the destroy. So say we have a couple jolts in our momentum face up, and this, we could commit 3 of our rivals' foundations on their turn to make their turn not last as long and us push into our opponent more on the backswing. Struggling with studies, it's a 3x, so 1, 5 +3 low. Enhanced flip, if this is your rival's 3rd or greater attack this combat phase, add 1 card. So basically, if we block with anything early, they keep going, we can lift stuff out of our card pool 1 to either replay our plus ultra blocks or our Ice Storm blocks or just any block in general. It just allows us to refill our hand if our opponent keeps going. Response, before one of your foundations would be flipped due to a rival effect, just flip this instead. More often than not, we're letting them flip other things because this card's just kind of stupid. Train with Gunhead, it's a 2x, 1, 5, 3 low, ally weapon, enhanced. The check of this attack was modified by an effect. This attack gets +1 speed. So, we got Double Jab Pummel, We also have first day of class. We have league interview. We have a bunch of targets. We also have schools, cool students. So we do have a lot of ways to buff our next check to trigger this. Also, it's primarily played for the bottom enhance. Reduce this attack of reduce the damage of this throw attack to 2. It's gonna be really good with Throw Might in the format and all these nice throws that are in Crimson Rampage. Also, we go ahead and we side another 2 copies of that just because it's that good of a card. 1x precise control. Now hear me out. It's a 1/5 +3 mid, which doesn't really matter with Midnight because you're reducing speed anyways. Breaker 1, enhance, add this card to your hand. So a really neat trick would be to add this card to your hand offensively and then use Midnight to get that +1. So you're technically plussing, or you're equal in your hand, but you're not going down in cards because you have one. So you just pitch 3. You have, say you have 6, you pitch 3. You have 6 again. Instead of just doing the, hey, I got 1 in my card pool, I'm only going to have 5. So this allows you to kind of dig deeper for attacks. Shout out to Tamara Cardwell for that one. 3 copies of Release. That's a 0/4 +2 high. Destroy 1 foundation. This check gets +2 to block. Your check to block this attack gets +2. Sometimes we just don't have foundations to, we don't want to commit foundations for Midnight's speed reduction. This allows us to get us more mileage out of our blocks by just destroying committed foundations. Or if we use Midnight to commit a foundation on the next attack, we could just blow up that foundation to get +2 to our block. Also, it keeps us out of deadlock, which is a plus. This seems like it's a staple in Midnight forever. It's probably why she's always going to be kind of tied to the chaos symbol. Primarily, maybe? Free damage after you use your commit. So commit, discard cards, draw cards. Hey, you get free damage. Congratulations, you can kill people. It's a 0/5 +3 high with Stronger in Darkness. Enhance if your character's committed, you get a damage. Yep, it's just free damage. Can't complain. 4x, requested assistance, 0/5 +2 mid, enhance flip if you have 1 or more momentum, ready 1 foundation that has not been ready this combat phase. So you can just keep readying your requesting assistance or other pieces on your board that you need to defend with. Let's go ahead and go, we already went through the side, a couple pieces on the side. So we got 2 train with gunhead, 1 short circuit, it's a 2/5 +3 low. Hey, if it's a non-charge attack, set it back to its printed damage. Can't complain. Villains defeated, it's a 2/5 +2 high. Flip, after you discard a number of cards due to rival's effect, draw a card. Pretty nice, playable while committed. So you can commit it with like Midnight, and then if your opponent tries to make you discard, flip, draw. Response flip, after your rival's blocked attack resolves, remove it and gain 2 health. So this is another part of that mill strategy that you don't really want to go for, but it plays into it, where you can also use Train with Gunhead to set a rival's throw to 2 damage, block it, remove it, take the 2, gain the 2. You know, it's a wash. 2 copies of Fighting Spirit. You don't want your opponent reducing your damage because the only real damage output you have is in Home Run Comet, Ice Storm, Indiscriminate, and Stronger. Yeah, so you want all the damage you can, so flip, cancel it. 2 copies of Confused. And this last card should really be a 3rd copy of Ice Storm, in my opinion. I just like Training Knife Strikes, it's cool. It really should just be Ice Storm, so let's go ahead and just change that real quick. Out of the side. Into the side. Into the side. Roof. Okay. It's that side. Error. Why are you giving me an error? Don't give me an error. Well, for some reason it's not letting me do it, but just do it anyways. Yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, it's fine. All right. So let's go into some of the graphs, eh? So we got 55 total number of cards, 19 attacks, 32 foundations, 4 actions. So we have our block spreads 19, 18, 18, pretty good. We could shore up our mids by adding in, well, I guess Train Knife Strike is a mid, but whatever. Our block spread doesn't change too much by what we side in, side out. Against throw decks, we're adding in Confused, Villains defeated, more Train with Gunheads. What we side out probably depends on what's not going to work very well. Like self-assured against the throw deck doesn't matter. Um, I would probably end up just saying like you may just have to get you side out Typhoon, self-assured, probably anything that's not probably the concentrate. Just depends on if they're playing plus ultra or not. Um, there's no two checks in the deck, so you're pretty safe on just trying to play out your entire hand on turn one. During the league play this week, I built six twice because of all the zeros, which is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Though she is kind of weak to, I guess, chaos in general, unless you could confuse the stun attack. You're kind of weak to stun because you want to commit your foundations to defend, and they want to commit your foundations on offense, so it kind of plays into their game plan. So you have to be careful there. You have to pick and choose what you want to block, when you want to go in. But man, this deck is a lot of fun to play. It is super, super fast, speed wise, and just how you can cycle through your cards. But yeah, that's it for the first deck profile that I'm going to be doing. So I'm looking forward to more, and like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing, and we'll see you next time. Bye.